sit, and for the moment you can sit any way that you like, however's comfortable, and take a little movement. I like circles at the moment, so you could join me in some circles or take anything really. And then we'll go the other direction. And we'll take some other spinal movement momentarily. But for now, just let the circles start to settle down and land yourself right in the middle. Go ahead and close your eyes if that feels okay. And create a little bit of a lift through the base of the skull. So you have nice long sides and back of the neck. Relax your jaw, relax your throat. And just take a few moments here, just a few easy breaths. And give yourself this time to arrive into your yoga space. And that's both a physical thing and a mental thing. If your mind is somewhere else, bring it back here. Let's go ahead and let the chin drop down and the upper back round. And blink the eyes open, bring your torso back to center. Let's take the arms up overhead and just circle out the wrists as you bring the arms back down. And now I'll show you a possibility for a seated position, but I'll show a few different options. So one option here is to kind of come into a little crouch. So you're on the left heel and the right knee is bent up like so. If that's not great, but it's okay, and you want a little height, you could try that sitting on a block. And if you do this version, have the left knee angling a little bit and the foot is just outside of the block. Now, if that's still no good, try this way. So now the hip is on the floor and the foot is a little bit in front of the leg. And this could also be done on a block. So hopefully one of those possibilities will work for you. I'm going to come back into this one. And we're in an asymmetrical shape, so you might already start to get a little stretch on the right inner thigh. And let's add on with some spinal movement. So start with some cat-cow here, flexion and extension through the spine. Yeah. And then we'll return to center. Take the arms up over your head. Let's go to the left first for a side bend. Just arc yourself over there. And then bring yourself up. Let's go over to the right side next. And take a few more just at your own pace. Back and forth you go. And then let's come back up to the center here and turn your torso towards the bent knee. I guess they're both bent, but the lifted knee. And just come into a twisted sort of position, spinal twist. And then let's undo and go over to second side. Any way you want to get there, it's fine. And then return to center. So we'll repeat that on side two, and the setup might have to be a little different. So I'll just kind of show it quickly. Again, you're here either sitting on the right heel with the left leg up or on a block. If you need to have the foot in front of you, that's an option too. Yeah. So let's do the flexion and extension. So cat-cow here. You could also take the leg a little further out. It's not an exact position here, just whatever works for you. And then we're in the center, reach the arms up overhead. And then we'll alternate here side bend. So side one and side two. A couple of those back and forth. and then let's pause, back in the center. Turn your torso towards the leg that's up, and over we go here for a little twist. And then let's undo, go the other direction. And then we'll undo. Go ahead and rearrange your seat so that you're sitting down. If you need to be sitting on something, not a block, but maybe a blanket is fine. Let's have the left knee bent down, the right knee bent up, and bring your right arm inside of the knee. If you can, hold the foot with the outside of the foot with your hands, so it's this position. If that hand hold doesn't work, you could hold anywhere behind the thigh or just somewhere is fine. Lift up through the torso, lift the foot off the floor, and at first just take a little bit of movement, and it may feel not very mobile, and that's okay. We haven't done anything yet to warm up through the hip or the hamstring. And then let's pause here, sit up tall again, and now on the right diagonal, go towards straight and bend. I say towards straight. For me, I'm not even close. Some of you might be there. And just notice where you are. We're going to do a check later at the end of class, and hopefully it will have opened up. So let's come on down and switcheroo over to side two. So arm to the inside, hand to the outside of the foot, up comes the leg. And then at first, just a little stir, just a little movement. Yes, I see everybody's feet circling around, I love it. Let's pause here, sit up nice and tall, and now on the diagonal. Oh, this side's way tight for me. Open and close. A couple of times. Yeah. And then we'll pause in the open position, maybe stretching out through the right arm. Nice job, guys. Put the leg down. Let's take right leg out, but this time on the floor, left knee bent, so you're in this sort of shape. If you're familiar with Janu Shirshasana, similar but not quite that. Press the hands down behind you, sit up really tall. Take a peek at the right foot and make sure that the toes are up. You're not rotating in or out. And then keep the hands on the floor. Just press the hands back and hinge the torso forward. Now we're in between the two thighs. If you'd like to go further, you can take the arms forward, but don't let the right hip pull up off the floor. That might limit how far you go. And for this one, see if you can keep more of a flat back position as opposed to a rounding shape. Yeah. Oh, hello. And then up we come to center. We'll go straight into side two, so bend the right knee and stretch the left leg out. And then again, you'll press down into the floor, take a little peek, make sure you're centered on the foot and the leg. Try to press the hands back as you hinge forward. And this might be plenty. For me, actually, it's pretty fine just here. If you want to take the arms further out, you can, but let's keep a flat back for this one. All right, friends, to get out of this, just bring yourself back to center. Let's stretch both legs out and give them just a little shake, a little babasana. Yes. All right, friends, we'll meet in hands and knees position. You shouldn't need blocks right away, but you might want padding for the knees. Totally up to you. And for the moment, just start to move your spine any which way. Circles, cat-cows, diagonal lines, whatever feels good. Okay, and then let's go back just for a brief child's pose. Hips move back towards the heels and take a quickie spider fingers, perching up onto the fingertips. And we'll do a little spinal balance here. Return to center. Stretch the right leg back with the toes tucked under and give yourself just a little bit of movement forward and back to stretch out through the back of the leg. Yeah. And then stay here. Stretch the left arm forward, fingertips on the floor. Firm the belly and try not to arch the back as you lift the right leg up off the floor. And if it's feeling fine to also lift the left arm, do. If not, keep the left arm down. So let's inhale. On the exhale, tap your fingers and toes back down and inhale, lift up. So we'll keep the limbs straight for the moment. Yeah. Sorry, Mary, there's a little bit of glutes, but we won't do this for too long. Let's hold in the up position. Bend the knee, bend the elbow, take the knee to the right, the elbow to the left, and just hold for a second. You're gonna keep the leg up, put the hand back down, and take the right leg wide. It'll step off the mat, foot onto the floor. From this position, take cat-cow. So now that the leg is out to the side, it just puts a little different angle of pull on the inner thigh. Yeah. All right. You're going to pause here. Turn open to your right, lifting the arm. And then we'll come down and through, a little bit like thread the needle. Right arm will scoop underneath the left, but likely won't go down too low for this one. I'm just on the back of my hand. Can you lift the left hip towards the ceiling? Oh. And then we got a few more things on this side. Let's reset, hands just underneath you. Actually, walk the hands a little further forward, tuck the back toes under, and then shift the hips back, kind of like child's pose with a wide leg, and then come forward. Do that a few times back and forth. Now, I'm not going back too far. You might if it feels okay. If it feels better just to keep it small, though, do that. Yeah. All right, and then we'll pause here. I will have my back to you. Let's reset the hands to the right under the shoulders. Untuck the back toes. Pick up your right leg and step it to the back of the mat, heel to the floor. Turn the chest open to the right and raise the right arm. Yeah, so it's like a Vashisthasana with the knee down. And let's take the arm overhead. Turn your face to look at the floor. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the elbow. Turn your face to look at the ceiling. Take that a few more times. So the inhale, you reach and look down. Exhale, you'll bend and look up. Every time you bend the elbow, create a little squeeze on the side, the right side of the shoulder blade. Like you've got a piece of paper that you've got to hold in there between your arm and the side body. A little squeeze every time. Yeah. And then last thing here, let's pause in the bent elbow position. If you wish, you can lift the right leg. And then if you also wish, you could bend the knee and hold onto the foot. If that's not going to work, just skip that part. Yes, a little balance. And then we'll get out of this, undo the leg, put the hand down, put the knee down, we're facing front again. Go back to child's pose and take another round of spider fingers and add in a little side to side hip shift, just a little back and forth there. Yeah. All right, yogis, a little detour before we repeat side 2. Let's stay here, hands down to the floor. Let the elbows soften down and just have kind of a relaxed arm position for a second. Without moving the hands, try to pull the arms towards your knees. Lift the hips and then lift the elbows. Arms are straight, we're in cow. Round the back into cat. Stay around as you head back to child's pose. Forearms soften down. And then let's find that pull action. Hips lift, elbows lift, pull around and head back. So making a circle. Find some good spinal movement here. Yeah. All right. And then let's pause, returning back to our all fours position. Stretch the left leg back, toes tucked under, and give yourself just a little bit of motion to stretch out through the calf. And then let's pause here. Take the right hand forward just onto your fingertips. Lift the belly. And without arching the back, lift the leg, left leg. If that's feeling okay to also lift right arm, go ahead and add it in. Inhale, we're here. Exhale, we tap them down. Inhale, we lift them up. Couple more rounds, with or without the arm. Yeah. Next time we're in the up position, stay. Bend the elbow wide, bend the knee wide, or just the leg if you're skipping the arm. Yeah. Let's put the hand back down. Kick the leg out to the side off of the mat. Step the foot to the floor. And then from here, friends, let's do a couple cat-cows with the leg wide. Just giving you a slight different pull on the inner thigh. Let's pause in neutral. Turn the chest open to the left. Raise the left arm. And then when you're ready, we'll scoop the arm underneath, something like thread the needle, doesn't have to go too low. Can you lift the right hip more towards the ceiling, which should give you a little more stretch on the left inner thigh. All right, guys, let's redo the arms. Hands back underneath you, and then walk the hands a little further forward. Tuck the back toes under, and just shift a little forward and back here. You could go a lot if you wanted to. I'm just keeping it fairly small. Good, good. Let's pause. Untuck the back toes, the right toes. Take the left leg, pick it up, and step it to the back of the mat, heel to the floor. Chest turns open, left arm lifts. And then arc the arm over, turn your face to the floor, breathe in. On exhale, bend the elbow and squeeze on the left side of the left shoulder blade. Inhale, arm overhead. Take that a few more times. Yes, friends, next time we're in an up position, hold that. If you'd like to also lift the left leg, you can. If you'd like to bend the knee and hold onto the foot, you can. If you're there, try to direct the knee towards the back end of the mat. And then we'll get out of whatever you've gotten yourself into. Release, hand comes down, knee comes down. Back to child's pose we go. Spider fingers in the hands, maybe a little wiggle in the hips. And then let's give the hands a break for the next seat. Come forward and down onto your belly. And stretch the arms back alongside you. Let's have the backs of the hands to the floor and lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor. So the upper back will lift, engaged. Turn the palms of the hands in towards your body and let the arms slip off the floor, but not so much that the shoulders drop, yeah? Keep the shoulders lifted. If you could also lift the legs, you can add that in. If lifting feels crummy on your back, just stay low, or anybody could stay a little closer to the floor if that's better for you. All right, let's put the legs down. Set so the hands are right by the chest. Press yourself back, child pose with the toes tucked under, and just walk the arms a little further out and pretend you've got a weight on the hands. They're stuck, and try to pull the hips back as the weight is pressing down on the hands and allowing you to go anywhere. Yeah. All right, let's come up slightly from that. And when you're ready, you lift this off the floor. Give the mat a press forward with the hands. Draw back the hips. Press up right through the upper thighs. Hugging a little through the ankles and slowly lengthen out the next, coming to downward facing dog. Go ahead and add in anything you like here in terms of movement. Yeah. All right, friends, let's pause. Separate your feet wide, about as wide as the mat. Bend both knees and walk hands back. And just press yourself up so the forearms are on the thighs. Move the inner groins back and the chest forward to lengthen. Lengthen out long through the torso. Press a little wider through the upper thigh. Root down through the ball of big toe. Keep both of those things on the inhale all the way up we stand. Lift arms, lengthen legs. Exhale, release the arms. Hold stay where you are. Soften your knees, soften your elbows, soften everything, and just take a little slither, just a little bit of movement here. Great. I'm going to mirror you for this next bit. Just stay at the back of the mat. Keep your stance wide. Send the arms up. Hold on to your right forearm. Pull up and over for a side bend to the left. Yeah, and then we'll add on this by lifting the right heel, which will allow you a little more room to go. Can you stay on this part and then super slow motion, let the heel sink back down to the floor like you're pulling after you, except it's your body. come to center, changing sides. So first we'll pull up and over, going towards the right. And then we'll lift the left heel, go a little extra. Stay over just this far, slowly, slowly. The heel sink back down. And then up we come to center. Nice work. Release the arms and just do a little in and out, little rotation. Yeah. So we'll sit the back of the mat and reset yourself so the feet are quite so wide. Feet are just right underneath you. You'll root down through the legs. Take the arms up and think of lengthening through both sides of the waist. Pretend there's something up there that you're reaching for, like on a really high shelf. One more breath in. Exhale, take it down, four-fold Uttanasana. Come up halfway and lengthen it out. And from here, friends, let's go up. Put the hands to the floor in a plank pose, walking the arms out. Feel free to take on the knees if you need. Once you are in position, just a teensy bit, let the chest sink towards the floor. And then try to pull the chest forward, move the shoulder blades down the back. Press into the floor, lift a little bit more. Now, without going anywhere, try to pull the thumbs closer to the midline. That might give you a little extra bonus lift. Yes. All right, let's put the knees down first. Keep the thumbs pulling in and lower down to the belly. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Yeah, once you're there, just take a little breather. You can take a wobble if you like. And then from here, friends, let's prop up on the forearms with the elbows just a little bit ahead of the shoulders. Go ahead and stack your hands. Let your chest sink down for a second and try to drag the elbows back as you pull the chest forward. Create a little lift up through the lowest part of the belly to support the back from the front. Yeah, here it's a variation on the Swiss pose if you're familiar with that one. Good. Lower yourself down. Let's keep a little pillow for your forehead. Bend the knees. This time we give the legs a little switch. Just a little back and forth motion. And then from here, friends, we'll the legs back down. Press back to go in downward facing dog. Take all the time you need to get there. And from your down dog, friends, let's bring the feet closer together at the back of the mat. Let the right leg press back as it lifts up. Yeah? Now from here, on the next inhale, let your pelvis turn towards the right side. The leg might lift a little higher. And on the exhale, turn the pelvis square again towards the floor. Do that a few times, open and close. You could have a little bend in the right knee if that feels better for you. And extra bonus, giving a stretch through the left calf, huh? All right, let's change sides. Step the right foot down. Pick up left leg, stamp the back out with the foot. And then as you inhale, let the pelvis turn open to the left. Exhale to unturn or square to the floor. Do that a couple more times or do it with a bent knee if you want to try that version. Yeah. All right, kiddos, let's step the foot down. Come to the front of the mat this time, both feet forward. Once you're in position here, slight bend in the knees. Press into the feet, press wide through the upper thigh, and keep that as we come all the way up to stand. Arms lift, legs lengthen. And then circle out the wrist a couple of times as you bring the arms back down. All right, friends, let's take a few shoulder circles, a few times one direction, and a few times the other direction. Yeah. All right, so next, let's come into some of our classic standing poses, and we'll stand starting middle of the mat and go wide. If you think you want blocks for your hands for triangle pose, you can set up one on one side, one on the other side, or you could use your shin as a support. So in the middle of the mat, let's separate the feet wide. I will mirror you for this part. So let's go this direction first. Right leg turns in, left leg turns out. Just bring the hands to the hips for the moment. And then we'll bend the left knee into warrior two leg position. And go ahead and lift the left heel a little bit, bend it a little further so the shin approximates straight up and down. And then set the heel down from there. Yeah. Now on the back leg, press the heel down and try to press it to the back end of the mat so much that the outer firms up a little bit. So you feel a little work going on there. The pelvis will a little bit of a diagonal, but let's square up the shoulders towards the long end of the mat. So the shoulders and the pelvis are not on the same line. Yeah. From here, friends, let's take the arms in front of you, bend the elbows, raise the roof, and then pin the air is really, really thick and press out and wide. Eventually, palms turn down, and you can turn your face to the left. Yeah, we'll just hold this position. Virabhadrasana 2. All right, we'll change it up a little bit. Back off some of the effort in the legs, hands to the hips, and then we'll take a little tilt in the pelvis. You tilt over and then back up. Do that a couple of times. Now we want this tilt to happen from the pelvis and the crease as opposed to the spine, like a side end. Yeah, so we really want it to happen from the pelvis. If you need to lift the left heel, go ahead and do for the moment. And then we'll pause in the tilted position. If the heel was up, you can set it down. Just for a second, stretch the left arm out. Try to touch the wall in front of you. And then either bring the forearm to the thigh or take the hand to the floor or to a block. Yeah, that's the bottom arm. Now the top arm, let's take the arm back. Do a little half circle until the arm kind of grazes the side of your cheek, the side of your ear. Now from here, friends, look towards the floor. Breathe in. On the exhale, bend the right elbow, find that little squeeze, look up towards the ceiling. Inhale, relay and look towards the floor. Does this seem familiar? Let's do a couple of those. Yeah. All right, friends, pause. Press into the left heel to come back to the center. Release the arms. Well done. Hands to the hips. Let's change so you're the second side. The left leg turning and the leg turns out. I mixed up right and left, so apologies that happens. Go ahead and bend the right knee, come into your warrior 2 leg. Lift the heel and then go bend a little so it feels or look like the shin is straight up and down, and then set the heel down. You're hinging forward, don't fret. Press the back heel down and back for the outer hip, and that might help bring you a little more upright. Square up the shoulders to the long end of the mat, but not pelvis. Just leave the pelvis alone. We'll take the hands in front of you, mime style. Up come arms. And then there's really thick. Press them out wide. You can turn your face to look right or straight ahead, whatever feels best on your neck. Yes, yogis. Virabhadrasana 2. And then we'll take the tilt in pelvis. Hands come to the hips. Back off a little bit effort in the legs as you're doing these tilts. So take a couple times back and forth. Tilting from the relationship, the ball and sock joint here on the right side. Yeah. And the next time you're in the down position, the tilted state, let's pause. Press the back heel down and back. Stretch the right arm out long and try to touch the wall in front of you. Oh, yeah, that's work. Now you can either come down, hand to block or to the floor, or you could bring forearm to thigh. You could even hand to thigh if it feels like you're up too high. Yeah. And then the back arm will do that little half circle down and then up. To look at the floor, inhale. Exhale, bend the elbow to look at the ceiling. Take a couple more times. Inhale to reach. Exhale to pull. Inhale to reach. Exhale to pull. Just one more time, friends. Yeah, and then to get out, press more into the heels. Up we come to center. Well done. Going back to side one for a different pose. So let's organize the legs, find your rotation. Bend the left foot, not a lot, just a little bit, and find the same tilt of pelvis that we did in the previous pose. Now in this position, before we add on the foot, you root down through the ball of the big toe, and notice you do that, the knee knocks in a little bit, so we'll make a little adjustment. Take the left hand outside of the thigh, press the thigh into the hand. Keep that idea as you press the mat forward to pretend the foot's trying to press forward to straighten out the leg. Yeah, great. And then let's stretch the left arm out, palm faces up. Try to touch the wall in front of you. So this way, yep. And then you could either put the hand on the block, hand to the shin, or any other variation of this that's you. Yeah. All right, let's spin the ribs away from the floor. Reach the right arm up. And now on the back leg, press the heel down and try to press it towards the back end of the mat. And you might feel something happen in the outside of the hip. You might feel like you need to come up a little higher, and that's okay when we do that. Yeah. All right, friends, to get out, a little bend in the left knee. Up we come back center. Hands to hips, switching sides. So just change the legs. We're going to do it that slow progression as before. So bend the front knee a little bit. You can go ahead and look at it and notice what happens to the knee when you press down all of the big toe. It'll knock in, which is, just what happens. Take your left right to the outside of the thigh, press the thigh into the hand as you maintain the pressure in the ball of the big toe. Yeah, keep that. Slowly start to lengthen the leg. Yeah. And then let's reach, right arm out, try to touch the wall in front of you. From here, down comes the arm to the block, to the shin or the thigh. And on the back leg, press the heel down and try to press towards the back end of the mat. Left arm can come up, doesn't have to. You can look down, you can look up, whatever feels best in your neck. Here we are, Trikonasana pose, yogis. All right, friends. To get out, let's re-bend the right knee just a little bit. And up and come back to center. You got it. Let's parallel feet. We'll come in for a second, but then we're going to go wide again. So just bring your legs back again. Let's take a hula hoop asana. A long time to be apart like that. The other direction. So we'll do something just to get a bit more symmetry. Let's stay here, pigeon toe slightly, and the feet are a little wider than you normally stand. Bend your knees. Bring the hips back and press the forearms to the thighs. Yeah? At the very tops of the thigh bones, press apart and also back towards the wall behind you. In your feet, hug in a little bit at the ankles, enough so the weight's even on your feet, but don't overdo. If you get too much, you lose the first thing and the knees will end up knocking in. Yeah. All right, guys, let's reset. Feet parallel, root down into the legs. Inhale, we're up, arms overhead. Yes, and then release the arms. Okay, so we're going next into a wide-legged forward fold. If you need blocks for under your hands, go ahead and set them up now in the front of the mat. Yeah, let's start the feet wide, maybe slightly less wide than you did in the previous pose. And look down at your feet, make sure the toes are running forward and we're not turned out. Yeah? All right, little bend in the knees to start. We want to hit from the hip crease, not from the waist. So come down and land your hands on something, box, fingertips, or floor, just underneath the shoulders. Before we straighten the legs, we're going to do this again. Widen the upper thighs. Adjust your feet so the weight's even on the feet. That might mean you press down on the ball of the big toe. Maybe you hug the ankles in. Don't do so much that you lose the first thing. Yes, just enough. Slowly let the legs start to lengthen. That's it. Stay here. The legs. Walk the arms forward. If you're on box, just bring them with. And go as forward as you can. Possibly go to the fingertips. Think about growing long through the side body. And then the arms are part of the side body for this bit. Yeah. So from here, we'll take the arms in slightly. They're still a little forward. And then over towards the right. How far is up to you? Keep the right leg straight. Bend the left knee and let the pelvis shift back. Yeah, getting a nice stretch the inner thigh again. Come back to center. Walk the arms left. Doesn't have to go far. Bend the right knee and shift the hips back. I think we better go again. Let's come back to center. Arms go right. Right leg is straight. Left knee bends. Hips shift back. Now, possibilities here. Keep the legs where they are. Maybe you bring the left to the left hip and turn to the side. You could also do this the other direction. Legs stay the same. And then right hand to right hip, and you go the other way. They're both interesting to do this. Let's come back to center. Over to the left side with your arms. Bend right knee, hip shift back. That's it. And then first we'll do right hand to the hip, turning away from the straight leg. And then down, keep the legs the same, left hip, turn towards the straight leg. And down. Come back to center, friends. From here, come in slowly so you're not quite as wide. Little bend in the knees, wide on the thighs, tone through the core, hands to the hips, hinge way up to center. Oh, okay. That was Prasarita Padottanasana with variation. Let's bring the feet back together. Just move around a little bit. Yeah. And then we'll take a version of this with a slightly different arm variation. So take the feet a little wider than you normally stand. Toes turn in slightly. Knees bend, hips come back, and then cross the forearms. Slide the hands high to the inner thighs. Rest the forearms on the top of the legs. And use your hands to press the thighs back apart and move chest forward. I know it looks super weird and awkward, but hopefully it feels nice in the lower back. Okay, let's undo. Parallel the feet. Up you come, lift the arms. And release arms. Okay, friends. So we'll come into a balance pose and we'll do it 2 rounds. We'll all do version 1 first, and then for round 2 you could repeat the first one or do the other. I'll just say what we're going to do. So left leg is down, right is up. Go ahead and hold on to the knee or the shin with the right hand. Now paying attention to the bottom leg, it's a little similar to the back leg in those standing poses. You press the foot into the floor. At the same time, let the outer hip hug in towards midline. Yeah. All right. Now from here, let the right leg rotate open without the left hip sagging to the side. Keep what we just did. Take the left wide. And here we are. We'll just say and breathe. Back to center. Release. Now, you guys think you looked fine. If you need to do this, I should have said this before, instead of with the leg all the way up, you could put the foot on top and just rotate. That's an option if you need it. Let's go to side 2. So the right leg is the down leg, left leg comes up. Go ahead and just get there. Before we add on, press the right foot down and let the outer hip hug in. Keep that. Left leg goes out to the side if this has to reset on the right side. And then right arm goes wide. And back to center, release. Good. Okay, so that's a fine place to be, and we'll start there. If you want to add on, I'll tell you the next one. So the left leg is down, right leg is up. And if you feel okay to do this, you either hold on to the outside of the foot, we did sitting, or you hold on to the big toe, whichever is an easier clasp. From here, find the integrity in the standing leg, foot down, outer in. Let the right leg rotate open. You could stay here with the bent knee, or you could go towards straight, or maybe some of you are all the way there. Yeah, wherever you are is fine. Keep the outer left hip hugging in. Maybe the left one goes wide. Yes. Wow. And bend the knee, come out with control. Yeah. I know it's a lot of work in here. We'll stretch that out later. Let's try side two. So right is down, left foot comes up. If you're going for different hand hold, go ahead and set that up now. And before we go, on the right foot, press the foot down, hug outer hip in. Yeah. If you're going for go maybe a little straighter. Yeah, this side's not as easy for me. Ooh. And maybe the right goes wide, yogis. Okay, with control, rebend, release, and just pause, yeah? Just take a moment. All right, friends. So just a little bit of opening for here. It's also opening for the chest. Take your thumbs on the dimples, the hands kind of on the side, and you'll press down through the soles of the feet. Let the thumbs press a little bit in and up, which will lift the armpits, lift the shoulders, draw the front shoulders back and the elbow tips back. And then from here, change your lift with the thumbs, more of now push down with the thumbs as you let the chest lift. It's tiny. If you're familiar with Ustrasana, a little bit like that. And then undo her back center, release, shake out. Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to do a quad stretch on the belly. We'll do frog style. So let me talk you through that. Let's come down to the belly. And show this direction. So when we come into this position, if that feels like a lot for you, you'll just do that. If that feels like no deal, you will take your left knee out to the side like a frog. I should be on this side. Sorry. Left knee out to the side like a frog. And then you'll bend the right knee and maybe hold on to the foot. In the frog position, just angle the pelvis a little differently so you'll get the pull in a different way. Yeah. If it's too much, just stretch the left leg straight back. See if you can very gently move the pubic bone towards the floor, but also towards the front of your mat. Yeah. Hopefully that hits the spot a little bit after the previous pose. Let's let the right leg go. Stretch the left leg back and just do a little bit here. Yeah. All right, side two. If you're going for the frog, do that first. Right knee goes out. Then you'll bend the left knee and hold on to the foot, ankle, or whatever you can grab. From this position, can you gently move the pubic bone toward the floor and also forward towards your front of the mat? I can hardly talk. This side for me is pretty intense. All right, and then let's release the leg. Take the other leg back. Stay here, full hands, rest the forehead, bend the knees, and just swish the legs back and forth. And here, friends, just take a brief your down dog or child's pose. Let your back stretch out the other way for a sec. Good. And then we'll come back to center and come into a seated position. We're going to recheck this one. After all that other stuff we've done, it's likely a little more open. So let's the left knee bent down on the floor. Right arm on the inside of the leg, hold the outside of the foot or the big toe. Yeah, it's very similar to the standing position we just did. Sit up tall on your torso, pick up the foot, and just give the leg a little stir, a circle. Yeah, even this part's easier for me. And then let's pause and do open and close on the diagonal. Maybe it goes all the way straight, maybe not quite, but just compare how it's different than before. Let's hold the open position. And ta-da, the left arm. Could you be sad and do this pose? I don't think so. It's a very joyful one. Now to get out of this, very delicately, put right leg back down. And then be here, hands to the hips. And we'll do this one again. So sit up tall. And see if use your hands to help tilt the pelvis forward. And hands can come down in the middle, so in between two legs. Yeah. If you wanted to go lower this round, maybe you're able to. I'm going to stay right here. Yes, friends. Out of this, come back to center. And then let's switch sides. So the right knee bends, the left leg, the right knee bends down on the floor, left knee bends up. Take arm to the inside, hand to the outside of the foot or the toe. If you need to take a different hand hold, that's fine. Let's take first a little stir. Yeah. And then pause, do our open and close. Yep, it's funny. It's still definitely a tighter side, but it's a lot more open than it was. Let's pause in open position and the right arm. Okay, very gently here. Let's put the leg back down. If it didn't work the way I did it, just sit there. And then hands can you press down to lift up. Maybe hinge forward a little, maybe go a lot. You're in between the two legs here. The angles might be a little different than before, but in between. Great. All right, friends, bring yourself back to center. We're going to do one more thing here. Let's stretch out the legs in front of you for a sec. Give them a little Bhavabhasana. Okay, here it goes. Let's bend both knees so you're in kind of Baddha Konasana, knees are lifted. Take both arms, either big toes or outside of the feet. You'll have to lean back a little bit to get the balance. See if you can lift both feet off the floor. And then maybe one leg and then the other go wide. Maybe you try for both at the same time. Oh, yummies. I can tell it. Oh, good. At least got one attempt. I can't see you too well. Whatever happens, it's over. Come down. Use the hands to bring the legs back together. Stay in this shape and just clasp the arms around the legs. Press the legs into the arms and the arms into the legs. And see if you can sit up nice and tall from there. We'll just stay here for a little bit. Great. All right, release that. We're going to another stretch the hip flexors here. Let's come down onto your back. We'll just do windshield wipers. So come on down. Knees bent, maybe something under the head if you need that. Take your feet about as wide as the mat. And at first, just go back and forth. Any pace, any style. Oh, for me, right now, the slower feels pretty nice. But if you wanted to go quick, that's an option too. Let's pause next time you're on the right side. The knees are dropped over right. Arms reach up towards the back mat, and the left knee can reach towards the front mat. Any other variations if you're familiar with them? And up through center, other side, so the knees drop left. Arms stretch back and the right knee reaches towards the front of the mat. Oh. You're waking up first thing in the day. And then we'll reset, coming back to center. Take the feet in lightly, just from where they are. And scoop the right foot in between the left buttock and left heel. The knee can either drop all the way to the floor, or it can hover, or you can put a prop under it. And then the left leg can come into the chest, holding the arms, or you could put a prop under the foot for kind of a half or of a passive sort of version. Yeah. Wherever you are here, friends, see if you can breathe into the right hip crease. Send your breath all the way there. If you feel really, really tense and beat, I would advise a prop, and that'll help the muscles release a little more easily. And to get out, let's undo the left leg, undo the right leg. Sorry, my props are everywhere. And then side two. So the left foot scoops underneath, in between the right foot and the right leg. Knee either to the floor or to the prop, or if it doesn't grip, it can be fine hovering. And then the right can come in, maybe you hold it, or you sit up on your props. Send your breath all the way down, nice and low, into left hip crease. And from here, friends, undo the right, undo left, and take both hands on the thighs, one on each, and just press straight ahead, hands into the legs. Right, and then from here, we'll head into Shavasana, our resting pose. Do feel free to set it up differently if you'd like. There's a couple options. You could prop the thighs on blocks, or you could do one where the hips are a little elevated on the blocks. Any support system is fine. And let the work be fun. Sometimes that's the hardest part. It's the beginning and the end. Let your body receive your practice. Let your body receive your breath. As breath washes over you. Any expression on your face, and the muscles in your face relax. Bring your attention back to your body. Start to move a little bit, any way that feels right. Whenever you're ready, let the knees bend. Roll yourself over to one side. And take your time to press up, to sit. Meet with hands at heart center. Thank your body, everything that it's able to do. Thank yourself for being here. Namaste.